The halls of the Sky Citadel shimmered under soft blue light as the young alien, royal named Leo, moved with careless confidence. He was 19 and already carried the attitude of someone who believed the entire galaxy should shift for him. His homeworld was known for its proud rulers and polished traditions, and he grew up hearing that no being could match their grace. Leo believed all of it. He believed it too much. Humans were new to the council. Their ships were small, their uniforms simple, and their manner direct. Many species saw them as unpredictable. Some saw them as too bold. Leo saw them as a puzzle he never cared to solve. That morning, he was told he would meet a human representative who had arrived early for an alliance briefing. Leo had shrugged and walked off without asking for details. He thought the meeting would be dull. The human representative was a young man named Ray. He stood calmly in the great hall, looking at a display of ancient artifacts. Ray had been trained for these meetings, but he was not from a rich world or a famous family. He came from a quiet corner of Earth where people focused on work rather than fancy titles. Ray had learned discipline because he never had the luxury of ego. Leo walked in with 2 guards behind him. Ray turned and greeted him with a polite bow. The gesture was simple and respectful, but the young alien royal misread it. He thought the bow was late and careless. He thought the human was slow to recognize his presence. Leo lifted his chin and gave a cold look. So that is how humans greet their betters. He said. Ray froze for half a second. He knew the royal was young. He knew pride often came before understanding. Still, the comment carried weight, not anger, not insult alone. It carried a belief that Ray did not matter at all. Ray felt the words land, but he did not show a dot. Ray nodded once as a reply. Leo smirked as if he had won something. Then Leo waved a hand at Ray's uniform. Your fabric is too plain for a meeting in these halls. Leo said. Ray looked at him without any expression. He did not attack. He did not protest. He simply turned away. He walked toward the tall crystal door that led to the outer balcony. He did not say a word. His steps were steady. He did not look back. No one had ever walked away from Leo like that. The guards stared in confusion. Leo stood silent for a long minute. Ray's calm refusal to engage left a strange noise in Leo's mind. It was not anger. It was not embarrassment. It was something he did not recognize, something he had never felt. Something heavy. Ray stepped out onto the balcony. The sky above the citadel spread in streaks of gold and deep violet as the twin suns shifted. The breeze brushed past him. He inhaled slowly. He was not hurt. He was not offended. He was simply tired of prideful voices that had nothing to offer. Inside the hall, one of the guards whispered to Leo. He just left. The guard said. Leo frowned. He cannot do that during a formal greeting. Leo murmured. But the guard shook his head. It becomes informal the moment you treat it with disrespect. The guard replied. Leo's face heated, not with anger, with realization. He followed Ray out to the balcony. Ray stood with his hands on the railing. Leo walked closer, but kept some distance. Silence stretched between them. You walked away. Leo said. Ray nodded. Double quotes. Yes, there was nothing more to hear. Ray replied. Leo gripped his gloves. You did not deny my words. Leo said. There was no need. Ray answered. The ease in Ray's voice surprised the young royal more than any direct argument would have. Leo had grown up in debates and ceremonies where every word had to be measured. Ray was simple, clear, and somehow stronger because of it. Leo tried again. You believe humans are equal to my people. Leo said. Ray shook his head. No, I believe every being is as strong as the choices they make. Ray said. The words hit. Leo like a force he did not expect. He had been raised to believe strength came from birth, from blood, from titles. Yet this human spoke, as if strength existed beyond such limits. Ray turned slightly so he could see Leo. "I am not here to impress you," Ray said. Leo blinked. "I am here to work." Ray continued. Ray's voice was calm but firm. It held the weight of someone who had lived without shields of privilege. He had faced problems without guards at his side. That reality shaped him. Leo could sense it. "What if I demand respect?" Leo asked. "You can demand it," Ray said. Leo waited for more, but Ray offered nothing else. "And will you give it?" Leo asked. "If you earn it." Ray said again. The answer landed hard. Leo's pride felt unsteady, not shattered, not crushed, just unbalanced. As if Ray's presence rearranged everything he had been taught, Leo stepped to the railing and looked. At the horizon, the suns reflected off the distant towers. He waited to speak, but Ray stayed silent. Ray did not fill the space with excuses. He did not seek forgiveness. He simply existed with a calm certainty. Leo finally asked the question, rising in his mind. "Why did you not argue?" Leo said. Ray shrugged lightly. "Because your opinion of me is not who I am," Ray replied. Leo stared at him. No counselor had ever said anything like that. No elder, no mentor. Everyone in Leo's life cared deeply about how they were seen, about reputation, about being praised. Ray's view was entirely different. Ray continued. "When someone tries to look down on you, it says more about their world than yours." Ray said. Leo felt a small ache in his chest. He wondered if his world had taught him something broken. The breeze lifted again, carrying the scent of the high forests below. The balcony lights began to shift in color as the suns lowered. Ray remained still. Leo felt small beside him, not because of Ray's size or strength, because of what Ray represented. A life spent learning without arrogance. Leo cleared his voice. "Do all humans think like you?" Leo asked. "No." Ray said. "Do most?" Leo asked. "No." Ray said. "Then, why do you?" Leo asked. Ray felt the wind brush by and replied in a soft tone. "I learned young that pride solves nothing." Ray said. The words were simple, but they carried a story. Leo could hear quiet battles in them. Not wars, not violence. Hard years, tough choices. Places where one had to grow or fall. Leo swallowed. "I spoke to you with disrespect." Leo said. Ray nodded. Double quotes. "Yes," he said. "You did nothing to deserve that." Leo added. "That is true." Ray said. Leo looked away, feeling a warmth rise in his face. He had never apologized before, not sincerely. Royal families rarely said such words. They blamed, they corrected, they rephrased. They did not confess faults, but Leo forced the words out. "I was wrong." Leo said. Ray turned his eyes toward him. "I appreciate your honesty." Ray said. Leo felt something shift inside him. Not a collapse, a beginning. He looked at Ray with new understanding. "You walked away because you respected yourself." Leo said. Ray nodded. "And because I did not want to waste time on empty talk." Ray added. A small laugh escaped Leo before he could stop it. Not mocking, surprised, light. He felt more human in that moment than he ever had before. They stood there quietly for a while. The citadel lights brightened. The sound of air transports far below hummed faintly. Leo finally spoke. "I would like to understand your world better." Leo said. Ray tilted his head. "Understanding requires patience." Ray said. Leo nodded. "I have patience." Leo said. Ray raised one eyebrow as if testing the truth of that claim. "We will see," Ray said. For the first time, Leo did not feel challenged. He felt motivated. He wanted to learn. He wanted to grow past what he had been shaped into. Ray stepped back toward the hall. "We still have a briefing," Ray said. Leo followed, but this time he walked beside the human instead of ahead of him. The guards glanced at each other in disbelief. Never before had Leo walked in step with another diplomat, especially not a newcomer from a young species. Inside the hall, the panels lit up as they approached. The map displayed the borders of allied worlds. Ray pointed to the regions needing cooperation. Leo listened without interrupting. He asked questions with careful curiosity. Ray answered with the same simplicity he had shown before. Hours passed. They reviewed strategies. They discussed supply routes. They examined ways to avoid conflict between outer colonies. For the first time, Leo felt he was learning from someone who spoke from experience instead of prestige. When the briefing ended, Ray gathered his files and stood tall. "Tomorrow we meet with the council leaders." Ray sighed. "Yes." Leo replied. Ray started to walk away. Leo felt an instinct to speak before Ray disappeared down the corridor. "Ray." Leo called out. Ray stopped and turned slightly. "I hope tomorrow I can speak to you without mistakes." Leo said. Ray considered it, then nodded once. "Just speak with honesty." Ray said. Then he walked off with the same calm steps as before. Leo watched him leave, feeling something new settle in his chest. It was not shame. It was respect. A kind he had never offered to anyone outside his own people. A kind he had never learned to show until now. In the quiet hall, Leo whispered to himself, "We'll earn that respect." It was a promise only he could hear. A promise that would shape the young royal into someone the galaxy did not expect. Someone who learned strength, not from pride, but from humility. Someone who discovered that humans were far more than the rumors claimed. Ray had walked away without a word earlier that day, but his silence had become a lesson that echoed louder than any speech the council had ever given. And Leo knew his path had changed. One simple moment had shifted the course of two worlds.